best Pokemon in Pokemon Go is coming back to raid sometime soon. We saw from a Pokemon Go leak, so you're going to want to see it at the end. Good morning, God bless. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to give you all the counters as well as the info on when this Pokemon's coming out. 100% IVs, everything. So let's go. So, from a leak that we recently got, we're getting Dawnwings and Dusk Mane necrozma back into raids. Now, first thing we'll go over, Dawnwings necrozma. Dawnwings necrozma, you win 100% IVs is 2342, and then the weather boost is going to be 2928. So the 100% IVs on one website said what I just said, but this website just showed this, so it's one of the two. So I'm gonna go over the Dawnwings first, then we'll go over Dusk Mane. Now, personally, I've heard Dawnwings necrozma is the best one, so if you watch these counters now, you'll be very, very just ready for whenever they get released. One of the biggest things I'm noticing before anything is dark type Pokemon. So I'm gonna go over the best Pokemon for it, and then obviously I can try and tell you some budget ones that you can go over as well. So number one, it is Mega Tyranitar. Mega Tyranitar is a great Pokemon. Matter of fact, I saw it on my blue incense recently. If you checked out some of my shorts, kind of insane. I did not think I was going to get a Tyranitar, so it's super cool to see that I was able to get that. I didn't know it was on the blue incense, and it could have potentially been shiny, but if you have the Mega Candy, go for Mega Tyranitar. Number two is Shadow Tyranitar, which I believe I actually have one of these in my storage right now. Highly recommend having a Shadow one, since if you don't know, Shadow Pokemon are better than normal Pokemon, but obviously they're not going to be better than Mega Pokemon. Mega Houndoom is number three. Now there's one more Mega we'll go over in a second, but for the most part you want one of these Mega types to use, and the big main reason is because they boost all your other attacks as well. So please, to make sure, if you're really wanting to grind Dawnwings necrozma, make sure you evolve a dark type Pokemon so it boosts your other attacks. Number four is Mega Gyarados. So that is the last Mega you will see, other than one that's going to be in like 9th. But however, biggest recommendation is to use Mega Tyranitar is number one. But if you don't have that Mega, do Mega Houndoom or Mega Gyarados. Honestly, I think Houndoom was the last one that was released if you didn't have that Mega Candy. If you don't have any of the Mega Candy, it's all good. You don't have to use a Mega Pokemon. However, it is very, very recommended, since Mega Pokemon will help you just all around. Number five is normal Tyranitar. Now, normal Tyranitar, this makes sense, because if the Shadow's insane and the Mega is number one, that also means that the normal one's going to be pretty decent as well, with that being number five, with obviously Bite and Brutal Swing. Number six is Darkrai. Now, the one weird thing is this has Snarl and Shadow Ball, as it shows on the screen of what I'm looking at. However, Darkrai is still a really good Pokemon. We just got it recently, and of course, the only way you can get it is from raids. It's a mythical, so you can't trade it. However, it's a great Pokemon nonetheless. Hydreigon, number 7. Hydreigon's always amazing Pokemon. It's been Community Day a couple days before. It's always in 12-kilometer eggs. So if you haven't been able to get it before, try and hatch 12-kilometer eggs. You get those from the team leader grunts. Shadow Weavile is number 8. Now, I believe Shadow Weavile got buffed, but this was like a couple months back. So Shadow Weavile is still an insane Pokemon to have. Even the normal Weavile is really good. I've also heard Weavile is a good ice type as well. So Weavile does have multiple uses. Highly recommend having it as a dark type though. Mega Absol is number 9. Again, it's a Mega. You don't have to, but you can. It has Snarl and Dark Pulse, but if you use the other ones, go for it. Yveltal has not come back to the game in a while. However, it is a great Pokemon at number 10. Incineroar at number 12. I didn't know Incineroar had dark type attacks. Zarude, which is a great dark type attack. Surprisingly, number 14, which to me is kind of crazy, but I mean, it's there. It is what it is. Zarude, we got it from research a long time ago. I mean, we see Origin Form Dialga. We even see Dawnwings necrozma itself, since it has one of the highest hitting attacks. So even if you have a normal Dawnwings necrozma, you could still do that as well. And remember, the only way you can get a Dawnwings necrozma is by having a extra Lunala and having 1,000 of the Lunala candies in order to evolve it into Dawnwings necrozma. And obviously, Dusk Mane necrozma is also coming out. So we'll go over that in a second. But there's one special thing about Dawnwings necrozma. There's a special power-up, just like the Roar of Time on Dialga or Spatial Rend on Palkia. Dawnwings necrozma has a Moongeist Beam. What this does is basically, it is an incense that will bring to your house dark-type spawns, no matter what time of the day. It could be in the day, you'll still get dark-type spawns. Same thing for the night. Now, my biggest recommendation is to obviously get a necrozma, but also get extra candies, because you can get Shiny Moona potentially from the incense, Gligar, which is a great shiny. There's just a bunch of Pokemon. Oh, even Galarian, Marowak, 2 different types of Rockruff, like the Dusk Mane, some type of form of Rockruff that's kind of difficult to get. You can get all those shiny potentials that I just said from the Moongeist Beam if you have a Dawnwings necrozma. So I highly recommend doing that. But also Dawnwings necrozma itself is one of the best Pokemon in Pokemon Go in general, just as a good attacker in raids. And like I said, it has multiple uses with being able to try and get shinies as well. So I highly recommend you try and get this when it comes out. Of course, the date's going to be on the screen, or you probably saw it before on when it's coming out. So now let's go over the Dusk Mane necrozma, which is also super important. Of course, Dusk Mane necrozma is going to have the same 23, 42, 100% IVs, weather boost being 29, 28. However, there's really big differences when it comes to counters. Fortunately enough, with the wild area event, you probably got the number one Pokemon, Primal Groudon. That is the number one Pokemon with Mudchop and Precipitable Blades. I'd never heard of that attack. However, the number one Pokemon to use is Primal Groudon. So, honestly, if you are to grind both necrozmas, like if you're going for both of them, I highly recommend using one of the other Mega Pokemon that I'm about to say. That was also the same counter for necrozma. However, if you are someone who's grinding just the Dusk Mane, then use your Primal. 100%. Primal Groudon is going to be so good. Again, you probably got the Primal candies from the wild area. Highly recommend you do it. Mega Charizard Y is the number 2. This is crazy. But even crazier is Shadow Heatran's number 3. We got Shadow Heatran a while back. I even said when Shadow Heatran came out, make sure you catch this Pokemon because it's going to be an insanely good fire type. And what do you know, since Dusk Mane necrozma is coming back, I mean, that's insane. Shadow Heatran. We literally just got this. I believe it's not in the shadows as of right now of the leader, the boss leader. I forgot his name. Cliff. No, it's not Cliff. Whatever the boss is, I don't think Shadow Heatran's in game. However, please let me know in the comments below so people that are watching this can check the comments and they can fact check it. Number 4 is Mega Blaziken. Mega Blaziken is a decent fire type, but it is definitely a Walmart version of Mega Charizard Y. As a Pokemon we were talking about before, Mega Tyranitar. Mega Tyranitar is good, really good in the number 1 for Dawnwings necrozma. So if you want to do Dusk Mane as well, and you don't want to use your Primal Groudon energy, or you don't want to switch to a Mega Charizard, Mega Tyranitar is still a great Pokemon to use since it's number 5. Mega Garchomp is number 6. Now Garchomp Mega is definitely just a Walmart version of Primal Groudon. However, Mega Garchomp is still good, and Mega Garchomp is one of the easiest Megas to have since it's been in so many different events of Gible Community Days, Garchomp Raid Day. Like, we've had it all. We've had it all for this thing. So, hopefully you guys have candies for that. Even Dawnwings necrozma itself is really good. I've talked about this. Moongeist Beam and Shadow Claw is just insane attacks, so I highly recommend going for that. Heatran, even the normal Heatran is pretty good with Fire Spin and Magma Storm. Mega Houndoom, Mega Charizard X is definitely a Walmart Pokemon to use. Hopefully you don't use it. Mega Charizard X, I think, looks better. I like the blue. However, it's just not that good. Reshiram is supposed to be pretty good, so that is awesome to see. Apex Shadow Ho-Oh. Fair enough. It's a fire type. That's why it's there. Shadow Excadrill is really, really good Pokemon. It's good in many other things. So using it for a ground type is going to be insane. Even Shadow Groudon, Shadow Tyranitar. Like, these are Pokemon that aren't the easiest to get. However, have came out in the past. So I'd highly recommend you trying to go for those. But other Pokemon that have been out recently, Shadow Entei, you could go for that. Shadow Moltres, maybe from a while ago. Shadow Garchomp's in, I believe, Grunts right now. Incineroar, Therian for Landorus. Like, the biggest thing you want to use for Dusk Mane is fighting and fire. Maybe even some dark types, but ground and fire are the best things to use for Dusk Mane necrozma. God bless. Jesus loves y'all. Thank y'all so much for showing up to today's video. See you on the next one. Good luck with y'all grind. It's coming soon, so good luck.